Welcome to your Daily 5 for Thursday, February 6th, 2025. I've talked numerous times over the last few years about how I am pretty much checked out entirely from anything that Marvel has been doing lately. It just hasn't been of any interest to me. I don't think, I'm not saying it's bad necessarily. I can't come up with a judgment on it because I haven't watched anything since... I think the last thing I watched that came out of Marvel was that Echo series that was on the streaming platform, which I liked, but I don't know how well that did in terms of general reception, but I liked it. My wife and I both thought it was good. I am looking forward to the new Daredevil series because they appear to have put the original band back together, and I liked it on Netflix, so I'm hoping it will still have that level of quality. But honestly, the new Captain America film, I've been somewhat neutral on because... I just, the Red Hulk thing, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like something I would care about. However, I will say I did read a little news item, which does have me actually legitimately now interested to see the movie at some point, which is that Anthony Mackie, who was the new Captain America, who I really liked in all the former stuff that I've seen him in. I thought he was a great addition to the Marvel crew, and I thought he was a perfect kind of successor for Captain America to follow what the comics did with the Falcon. But he recently said that he is trying to base this character on the superhero that inspired him when he was younger, which was Christopher Reeve's Superman. And right there, the fact that he used the words compassion and empathy as descriptors, that has me interested just on the basis of the fact that that is such a departure from what it feels like superhero movies were doing, and in particular what DC was doing with their own character of Superman. So that is probably the most interesting and potentially positive stuff I've seen about this movie, which otherwise, I've seen bits and pieces of it here and there. I've seen the trailer. Trailer looks good. The trailers always look good in almost every case. But I've been not all that interested in actually actively seeing it until I read this. And the fact is, if this is actually what they're going for, if this is what the character demonstrates, if this is the type of optimistic film that I'd like to see more of, then I do want to support it. I do want to watch it, even if it does largely follow the Marvel formula. Well, I can put up with that. That's okay. But I'm more interested in a movie that looks at superheroes, isn't just trying to deconstruct them or make them grim or make them dark or not have them just be traditionally super heroic, which, you can do that type of stuff. I'm not saying that nobody should ever do a grim or a deconstructed superhero film again, but it just felt like the kind of default approach. Well, there were a couple default approaches, but one of them was just to, okay, let's not idolize these superheroes. Let's make them realistic and ground level and show all the flaws. And flaws are good. These should actually show flaws, but it doesn't all have to be that way. And like I said, just seeing how DC mismanaged Superman in recent years had me really just that was one of the things that the Snyder stuff, like I said, the Marvel formula just generally kind of became not something I didn't like, necessarily not something I actively disliked, but something that just largely has disinterested me because I felt like it was all kind of becoming the same. And these are the first comments I've seen in a while. And this, along with James Gunn and how he appears to be positioning Superman, it does have me hoping that we are going to get back to an era of having some optimistic superheroes, some people that we're actually supposed to look up to and see as kind of an idolized state. You can do that. Not everything has to be realistic and flawed. There's a good mix. Like so many things, moderation is what I'd like to see in these films. So yes, for every, deconstruction of a superhero or showing a superhero with flaws, let's have somebody who is supposed to be aspirational, that younger people can look up to and say, this is a positive influence. I don't mind that. I think a mix of things is great. So like I said, largely Captain America, what is it called? Brave New World? Is that the newest one? I don't remember what the subtitle is. Captain America, Brave New World, that's it. I kept thinking it was Bold New World, but that made no sense. I think I was mixing it up with Batman, the Brave and the Bold. But Brave New World, like I said, up to this point, I've been pretty much just kind of neutral on, not actively disliking, but not particularly interested. But now, just reading how some of the comments made by Mackie, who I already liked anyway in the role, I thought he was really good as the Falcon. But the fact that this seems to be what they're going for, to recapture some of that positivity, that empathy and compassion that defined Christopher Reeve's Superman, if in fact that's what they're trying to do, if the movie demonstrates that, then I actively do want to support it because I'd like to see more content like this. So honestly, this is the best news I've heard out of Marvel in a while, and I really, really hope that this movie lives up to the comments made by Mackie here. We'll see. Later.